How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another video. And with this one, this is actually really interesting. I heard about this one briefly, and we've talked about it briefly, or I guess mention it on the podcast, but it wasn't clear whether or not this was going to be an actual thing. So, to my surprise, a trailer came out for Lord of the Rings Gollum, and I'm watching it on the PlayStation channel. And I gotta say, first off, when it comes down to Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite fantasy franchises. Some of the earlier games were interesting. Going between an adventure game, two games being kind of like a hack and slash, with that being The Two Towers and Return of the King, as well as a turn-based adventure RPG, going back to what we got for the last couple of games, Battle for Middle Earth, as well as the two last games where we played as Tyrion, and I think it was Tyrion, Celebrimbor. I can't remember the exact title this second, but yeah, we've had a large range of different games when it comes down to Lord of the Rings, and to our surprise, we get another one. So I'm really excited to hear about this. So without further delay, why don't we go ahead and get into it? There will be a couple times where I pause to give my reaction, so that way it doesn't seem like I'm watching the whole thing all the way through in one sitting. If anything, just taking bits and pieces. If I see something to pause, I'm going to pause it and then go from there.
Hi, I'm Harold Riegler, producer at Dedelic Entertainment, and today I'm happy to reveal some exciting details about our upcoming game, The Lord of the Rings, Gollum.
Okay. Looks nice. I mean, right now it does. Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Gollum has always fascinated us. While being completely essential
true.
to the story written by J.R.R. Tolkien, Gollum's long chase for his precious ring has never been told in detail. Yet his incredible journey from Mordor through Mirkwood to the mines of Moria takes players to places they haven't seen like this before, while setting the stage for events that will ultimately decide the fate of all of Middle-earth.
Now, I'm going to say right now, looking at this trailer, just right now, looking at this trailer, it looks amazing. Or at least some of the visuals we're seeing for some of these places. Though I have a feeling, part of me kind of is going to expect that some of these details might be downplayed a little bit, or at least they're kind of hyped up a little bit for the trailer. But once we get the final product, some of it might actually be downplayed. It's happened before with previous games.
Gollum has pretty much traveled everywhere. He's also pretty much met everyone, and by looking at events from his angle, players will experience Middle-earth through the eyes and twisted mind of one of the most iconic characters of all time.
I'm kind of curious, what do they plan on doing with I'm assuming, if anything, because Gollum is not, compared to, the orcs of Mordor or Isengard, he's not, physically fit. So, if anything, I could probably assume that this is going to be kind of like a stealth game to some degree, where you're going around and you're trying to keep out of the line of sight of, anybody that would possibly harm you.
All of that in our very own artistic style. From his time in the slave pits of the Dark Tower to his stay with the Elves of Mirkwood, Gollum will creep, sneak, and trick his way past faithful, detailed environments.
Looks
some
nice.
Of which have never been seen before in such detail. The Lord of the Rings Gollum is a cinematic stealth action adventure.
Cinematic stealth, yep, I called it. I called it.
Mixes stealth and parkour gameplay, and really leverages Dedelic's expertise in crafting engaging stories. Gollum is no traditional hero. He's learned not to take any sides other than his own, and some of the most powerful beings in Middle-earth want him either captive or dead. In the game, you will meet some iconic characters, but also interesting personalities less known to players, but nonetheless essential to the events unfolding. We've been highly faithful to the descriptions in
This is sounding really cool. I'm liking this.
depicting, for instance, the Moth of Sauron, the Lieutenant of Barad-dûr,
Okay.
is constantly scheming on behalf of his Dark Lord. In the game, we will see his face for the first time, but also Thranduil, King of the Elves of Mirkwood, father of Legolas, and
Okay.
last but not least, Gandalf,
Oh,
the Wizard.
cool.
We're all super excited to be working on this amazing project, and we can't wait to show you more. Stay tuned on social media at Gollum Game.
All right. So I gotta say right now, I mean, even though this was like a 2-minute trailer, I'm kind of curious about seeing more. I'm not good with stealth games. I think you guys can, if you've seen me try to do stealth in a lot of other games, you know that I suck at it. So to try to play a game like this, it would probably be interesting. I will say I'm kind of curious about just the environments that we will get to see, and how they, especially with a character that is, you know, even though it influences a lot in the franchise, how would we be able to make a game that is just solely focused on this character alone? I'm kind of curious of how they do it. But anywho, that was my reaction of this trailer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, leave in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. Peace.